What is it that you were putting out on social media?
A little bit of everything. So I would have like some short educational, hey, did you know that you don't need 20% down to get a down payment? Learn more information here at My First Time Homebuyer. From photos to videos to just human conversations over the phone, that's how I was marketing it.
Andrea, what is it that you are absolutely crushing in the business right now that you're doing better than anyone else that's doing it?
So I help new agents start their business. I tap back to when I started, right? And think of all of the things that I went through as an agent. And I use those to give back to our agents and help them get started and ramped up. It's building relationships and community and help creating change. So whether that's in the productivity world or with the business, my personal business with friends and family, I want to make sure that there is a sense of community and that we're plugged in together and that we have this partnership, right? We're in this together, you and me, we're here. And then being a catalyst in change, it's like, there's a lot of people who talk and I really want to step up, and I have that high D disc profile, right? So I want to get things done and I want to get things accomplished because I feel like that's how you build trust, whether it's within a productivity world or your personal business or even your personal relationships. Being there for people, listening to people, and then helping make things happen.
The relationships in the community, how are you doing it better than anyone else?
On multi-different levels. So from a business standpoint, I was really passionate about doing first-time homebuyer seminars and things like that, and really helping enlighten and educating the consumer on here are your options. When I was a young adult, I did not realize I could purchase a house when I did. And that's because I consumed bad information. And so for me, just reaching people on a human to human level and helping them understand there's options, there's things you can do through seminars, through educational videos, through things like that. From the PC side, it's the same thing, right? It's meeting people human to human, having those one-on-one interactions, and then also leveraging technology and video so they can see that they can achieve and accomplish the exact same things.
So let's lean into the first-time home buyer seminars that you're doing.
I try to keep it simple, right? I leverage as many free tools as possible because agents and myself, right, we're in all different phases of business. When I started, I want to lead with revenue. So I utilize Eventbrite like many people do. It's free, it's easy, and guess what? If people sign up, they're going to start promoting your stuff too, which is awesome. Then I did them in Zoom because I had some medical issues at one point that I wasn't able to just go out in public. So guess what? I was able to still connect with people on Zoom, which is a very low price, again, affordable, and have just human to human conversations with people. And so I would see across the board, depending on my, the type of advertisement I use, whether it was social media, but I touch my database with it as well, right? There's so many different ways to talk about it. And so we could get 5 to sometimes 20 to sometimes 35 people, depending on the time and the time of the year and just things like that. And we were seeing some great results. We were helping people, again, first-time home buyers who were just moving here from different states or here locally achieve that home buying opportunity.
What you did to bring people into your first-time home buyer sales is you leveraged social media, you leveraged your database. Yeah. Were there any other sources that you leveraged to bring people in?
Database was a key thing, right? Because the thing was, even if my friends and family had a home, I was like, who do you know that needs this information, right? So I was thinking about me in the past. Who do you know who could benefit from this information? And then that spread like wildfire, right? Because people are passing it to their friends. And then social media, not only the free channels that we have with our generic Facebook accounts, but then also running ads as well.
What is it that you were putting out on social media?
A little bit of everything. So I would have like some short educational, hey, did you know that you don't need 20% down to get a down payment? Learn more information here at My First Time Homebuyer. So I did a little bit of videos and then I did a little bit of pictures, but I also did storytelling. Again, I like to go back to, hey, when I was a young adult, I had no idea I could afford a home or even buy one. If you feel that way, let's talk. Let's look at options. So from photos to videos to just human conversations over the phone, that's how I was marketing it.
So you got them into the Zoom room or the Eventbrite, however, whatever source that you use, but you got them there. What was the content?
So basically, it's a buyer consult if you think about it, right? You're going over a buyer consultation. And I really focused on what are the most common things that consumers are searching on a website. So there's some of these tools like Keywords Everywhere where you can search and you can find what people are Googling. And so basically, not only did I tap into my story, right? But then I also was looking, what are the key things that people are curious about and searching, and I covered those topics first. I went over agencies so people understood what is the role of a real estate agent, what is fiduciary. Most people don't even know what that word really means. And then we went over common myths and then actual content of the local market here in this area, because that's incredibly important. And then we start asking questions. That's the thing. I want them to talk. I want them to be engaging, and I want to hear where they're coming from so I can better serve them.
Okay. What's your follow-up? I mean, let's just say I come to your event. I'm there. What next?
Great. So next, depending on some of the conversations that we're having, and you'd be surprised how candid people will get on a public Zoom meeting. But basically, I have drips and email set up. A couple of them, right? If they didn't show up, I'm going after those people too with a drip saying, hey, sorry we missed you. Here's the things. And then if they did attend, following up with some practical next steps. Here's what you can do. Usually it's a list of lenders that they can start having those conversations with, or it's some of my email or these lead generation magnets, which are just like little pamphlets. Here's what you need to know. So that way they can have what we covered in the topic. And then next is getting a more in-depth appointment. So it's like, look, you've been to the class, you've heard all this information. Now let's get a game plan. Let's start putting things together to move you forward. And so they don't feel pressure, yet they feel supported, and we're taking the next steps to build that pipeline, but also getting them their home.
I love that. So what are the tools that you're using to drip and email the people who attend?
There's texting platforms you can use. Of course, there's Command with the smart plans. They're really easy to set up. We've got a library, you guys. You can go in there and find simple things to execute already. Text message. So for me, it was a text message tool that allowed me to customize. I think that's very important if you take anything away. Customization. Mm-hmm. This is not a mass, like make sure you're customizing things so the audience knows you're talking to them. And then also special touches like cards. I love, I have like AMC card subscriptions. I have different subscriptions where you can send handwritten cards to people. Just little things like that make an impact, and just show them that you're here, you're paying attention, and you're coming from contribution and service.
And you're engaging with them. You're educating them. And you're bringing them along in the process. And it's a no pressure process.
Correct. It's exploration. It's like, let's explore this process, right? Because you don't know what you don't know. And I think people are hyper aware of that. And they want to be with someone they know, they like, they trust. And so that's what I'm doing in these seminars is I'm building rapport by coming from contribution, giving them info. I'm building that trust with them saying, I'm going to give you actual information you can use because look, we can go online and we can find answers to anything, right? There's that saying where whatever answer you want, you can find in regards to any topic. And so I'm like, let's be real. Let's make this process real. Let's talk about the actual numbers. What are you going to have to bring up front? What does that look like? Everyone's on a different economic scale. Everyone's on a different lifestyle. Everyone's got different goals. And so I try to make that hyper personal as well when I'm doing these meetings. I'm just bringing it down to earth to the consumer.
Here's a simple model again, and you can stop me if I'm wrong somewhere, okay? So the simple model to build a relationship and community around first-time home buyers is at the top of the sales funnel. You're going to go put your ads out, touch your database, bring them into the event. Use a tool like Eventbrite and Zoom to actually host the event and get people registered. I love the fact that you use Eventbrite because now you're capturing their information.
Exactly.
It's not just having them show up, but you're actually capturing it and building your database. Then during the presentation, you're actually doing the buyer consultation. Through the consultation process, you're building a rapport by asking a lot of questions.
Absolutely.
Sounds like you just nailed the 4 laws of building a database.
It's a great way to build a database, by the way, and people who actually want to engage with you. And that's the thing. It's about engagement, and it's that human-to-human communication and connection. We're all capable of it. We just have to keep that top of mind.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Andrea. And if you enjoyed this video, please go like our YouTube channel on this video and subscribe.